I want to ask you lot something, ladies.
Well said.
What, how would you lot feel if males exploited women the way how women exploit males in the porn industry in terms of this? Yeah, all right, so we're getting there now.
Let's go.
Let's get there. So we know that this man at home is sitting down lonely. He has no sex. He has no female interaction. But you're using that as your tool to get money out of him.
Okay.
Is that not exploitation?
I only watch porn with men and women.
say
in it,
corn.
so
Say corn.
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 Yeah.
I only watch corn with a male and female. So how are we exploiting? Because
No, I'm saying in terms of like OnlyFans, in terms of like
OnlyFans.
Chatterbait. I'm talking about all these websites where they have
What's
girls.
Chatterbait?
It's a website where girls sit down in front of the cam and they're
Okay.
like, "You're right, lonely guy 456. Yeah, send me some dough. I'll show
And
you
they're
my
sending
feet
their
pics.
money.
Like I'm
For
your
feet
best friend."
pics?
Like, I'm saying this exploitation happens on.
How?
What do you mean? Say that
Is it
again.
exploitation or is it just
Like,
an
right, the
exchange of
website.
services?
Is your mic on?
Exactly.
Is it exploitation or is it just an exchange of services? Can you hear that?
Okay, so
You could argue that's what the Tinder swindler did.
Yes, that was.
I mean, that's a
You could
stretch.
argue they got to go on a private jet. What does the guy get for feet pics?
I never watched this, so I can't comment. But he did get taken to court, right? Didn't he actually like con them, which is slightly different?
They just made his career. Now he's a social
yeah.
media.
He
With
is
the Tinder
hilarious.
swindler, I would say it's slightly different because he's met these individuals in person. He's built a rapport with them. He's actually allowed them to think that they are getting to know him as a person. Like if I was to meet any of you
that
today,
sounds
if we were to go out, if we were to have drinks, and then build a relationship, there were some individuals that thought they were engaged to this man. They physically been together.
Okay, but so the same way, like the way you're talking is literally how Andrew Tate describes how the women need to talk to the men. Like I'm telling you word for word, basically.
Right.
And so just like I think it's delusional of those men to think that a woman like that is going to take them seriously. I think it's delusional of those women,
100%.
average looking girls, to think that a multi-millionaire is going to take you seriously.
Is there not a difference when there's a web screen put in the way? Because the chats that we were talking about, that's kind of you're paying for something virtually as opposed to something with the Tinder swindler where that's in person. You're meeting these people and building.
you're missing.
Can I give you a stat?
Yeah.
So the results revealed that 23% of women have engaged in a foodie call on an occasional basis, with a number of them believing it was socially acceptable. The second study analyzed 357 female participants and further discovered that 33% of women would go on a date purely for a free meal.
Right.
So this happens like every day, face to face.
So you like when you said you were making weight, there's nothing stopping you from actually having sex with him on day one.
Well, it
But-
comes down to my own values.
I know.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, obviously, after a couple more dates, after I've spent my money on you, after wait, hold on,
Yeah.
because you potentially after the 3 months could say, you know what, I actually don't like you, but I've already invested in you for 3 months.
Well, isn't that dating? Like,
For you, that's dating. For me, that's an
girl.
expense.
but why are you assuming that it's an expense? Because
Because
that's
you know what I
assuming
want.
that the male's paying.
No,
for
you
everything.
know what I want.
What
So-
do you want?
So what does every man want from a woman that he's going on
So
a date
does that mean
on?
we have to just give it?
No. I'm not saying that you.
She's not saying that you have to just give it up. He's talking about there's two different types of girls, right? There's a type of girl that makes you wait because it's genuine, and there's a girl that makes you wait because she's been ran through and she's afraid of getting ran through again, and it's just completely different to guys.
So I think both are justified to make somebody wait.
I think it could be justified to a female perspective, but that's not how men view it because they value chastity. They value purity. And so it's like you're the product, right? And it's like you're upping the price that they have to pay to get the product without adding any extra value. It's like you're a lower value.
She might have learned a few tricks.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Oh, Pearls,
all-
you said
at
it.
the
You
end
said
of
it
the day,
perfectly.
It's all about choice, though, isn't it? It's as simple as that. You have a choice. If you don't want to stay with someone who is a hoe, go. If you do,
Exactly.
have fun. End
Yeah,
of.
but it's the deception. So you're saying I should be able to deceive, and you have the choice whether or not you want to be deceived or not. Doesn't mean that the deceiver is right to deceive.
What is
But
deceiving?
yeah, where's
men
the
deceive
deception?
every day.
Exactly, but does
All
it
the
make
time,
it right
but
that they deceive every day?
That's not
No, it doesn't make it right.
Right. So there we go.
But a very small percentage of men even have the option to deceive women. Again, 1 in 3 men under 30 either haven't had sex in the past year or are virgins.
That's
So
crazy.
that's what I'm saying. The reason women like say phrases like that is because we're all sleeping with the same guys. It's a very small percentage of men that can even get girls.
Really?
Yeah,
I really find that shocking. I thought every guy could get a girl. You just go to some of them clubs on a Friday, Saturday night. They're out there.
well, those are the guys that can. Those are the guys that can afford to make it to the club.
Just go outside. You don't even need to go in. Get the tube.
I think
girls are giving it out.
But I think you're.
Where are these women giving it out? Can you name an exact time and location, please?
I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to hook you up.
Because
Where were these?
even the most like out there man, he still has to go through like hoodles and hoops to lay with women. Even that 20% guy still has to be on point and do things right and be in the right place at the right time, say the right things, be the right physique, take her to the right place, say the right things to her friends. There's a lot of things that
hard for you guys.
It is so hard because you lot don't have no expectations. You lot could just come with your.
Well, what do women have to do to get sex? We just have to exist.
But no,
I'm not saying it's your fault, but I'm saying like I empathize with men because it's a lot harder for them to even feel like desired. They have to go through all of this work to even have girls interested in them where we just exist.
Because we have because of the deception that men do, we have such a guard up of what guys we do go around.
But women go after the bad guys and then complain. So
100%. Yeah, you've got that nail on the head.
My thing is, right, so with this hypergamous stuff is that these women, a lot of these women will get with the key players. These are the guys that, you know, when you dance, there's certain guys that just smash everyone, innit? Mm-hmm. They take advantage of the new girls. They tap everyone. So those girls, they go with that guy, and then now they've learnt their lessons. They've dated Mr. Toxic. He did this, that. He's telling me, I'm like, and then they're like, I want to take it a bit slow with you, and I want to... Listen, I was young then. I just, you need to really... And I understand it, because, I dismiss those women. But...
do you understand it though, really?
I do understand.
I don't think you do.
Because for a man, the advantage we have that's never spoken of, we have the advantage of experience. Like, yeah, we get screwed over and it's a hustle, but I have a lot of time to figure it out in it. Women don't really have that much time in it. So for me, past a certain age, past 27, when I've seen enough, I'm like, oh snap, I really get it. Like, for me, every year there is a new cohort of young women who think they're grown coming in, and it's easy. It's extremely you're a predator. No, it's not even predator. They all think they're like, I'm 21, I'm graduated from uni, I know it. Bro, listen, there's 4 of us here that specialize in these women exactly like you. I know where to take you, I know what to say, I know what you think of yourself. And it happens. So that's the advantages we have in it. That every man is like born like an RPG character in it. We all start on level 1. Everyone, even the coolest guy, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Do you mean as in because women after a certain age haven't got that?
You're born with
harder.
With value. Women are born with value.
So
I have to earn my value.
Yeah. So I'm invaluable.
Say that again.
That's what. Who's the
I'm saying the more you sleep with men, the less valuable you become.
Oh, I thought you meant just as...
okay. I'm not saying that.
I'm saying that.
It's age too.
I'm saying that.
I'm not.
I mean, the older you get, the less valuable
What
you
is
get.
it if you're over the guy? Was it who was it?
Kevin Samuels.
35, you're undateable.
It doesn't mean you're. It doesn't mean you're.
Definitely not undateable.
No, it
You're
doesn't.
low value. You're a low value woman.
But it doesn't mean you're undateable. It means that you're less valuable than you were when you were like 10, 15 years ago.
Oh, 100%.
You can't compete
Like,
for the same guy.
It's the same as a car.
You can't compete for the same guy.
But I'm saying men, it's the opposite.
Who
the
wants
older,
to compete for the same men that was fighting one in 15 years ago?
Yeah, no, on the same type of guy. You're competing for the same 20% of guy,
Well,
even though you
because-
think it's a new
right.
guy.
Guys, let Pearl speak.
because okay, I'm 25, right? I could date a guy up to 45. I'd be fine with it. And so like even now we're competing for the same guy. And that's what he's saying. Yeah.
So you've got the advantage. You're 25. I get it.
And just to clarify, I wasn't saying that like, women are less valuable with age. It's just that obviously it becomes a bit harder for women because of age in the dating market, because obviously there's certain trends, right? Men tend to prefer younger women. There's certain elements of being younger that are advantageous in dating, like vitality and having a certain mindset that men can find refreshing at times. It gets harder for women. I think we all understand that, right? But for men, the older you get, the better you learn to engage with women. You're better, you don't say the goofy stuff you used to say when you were like 20.
No, the younger women are more susceptible to your bullshit.
I was going to say, I think as you get older, you tend to not really you can't do the bullshit. You can see it coming like straight at you.
Right, but this is where you go back to. It's the same prize, lower value, higher price.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest complaint I hear from men with older women.
I'll tell you a story, actually. This happened to me a few weeks ago. There's two, but I'll tell you this one first. So there was this girl I met in the club. She was great. She was in a similar scene as me, and she looked very good this night. I'm very direct with my interests. I was like, damn, yeah, you're looking good, whatever, talking all that crap. We're having a chat on the side, and she's, acting all coy, and she's like, I don't date in this scene. I was like, oh, all right. So, so you want me, you're kind of dinner date kind of girl? Cool. I found out that girl's been with almost all of my boys, right? So for me, she kind of.
You didn't continue? You didn't take her to dinner?
I did her Instagram. I got a number. I never spoke to her again. And now she looks at me like I'm some kind of alien every time she sees me. It's like, but that's the kind of story of how it works sometimes.
Did it make you improve?
Absolutely.
Because you knew that you was at disadvantage when she told you that, right?
Yes, I knew that there was something I didn't understand. And then when my boys told me she's been with bare of these men, I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
You just believed what your friend said.
Why would they lie?
Why wouldn't they lie?
Do you not think it's the same the other way around though?
Yeah.
So like if I meet a guy and I know that he's slept with everyone in this community, all of my friends, like, do you really think I'm still going to be interested?
Most women are still attracted to him. I mean, look at Drake. Women are stealing his condoms.
That's because he's famous and people have this ludicrous kind of imagery of celebrities.
That's true. But in general, women pick men that other women want. Because it's a sign of pre-selection.
Even other people's men.
And the reason, and I can give you an example. Women say men are trash all the time, and they lie and they cheat. Well, who are they lying and cheating with?
I think that comes down to like going back to the age thing as well, though, because maybe when you're younger, you think about that, but when you get past a certain point, you're kind of looking for more stability and somebody you can trust.
Yeah.
So I think that really changes.
Yeah, because but that's what happens though. Women below the age of like 27 tend to date the bad boys, and then they get ran through by the bad boys and then ask for a nice guy to pick up the pieces.
Yeah. Like why? Why should I have to deal with your issues after you had the chance when you was 21, the chance when you was 22, 23, no, I want to go club, I want to do this, I want to go. Please, babes, I want a wife for you. No, I ain't got time for you. Do you know what? On the count of 3, everyone shout out their body count.
5.
But do you get my point? Do you get my point?
I'm not ashamed of it.
No, you're not ashamed of it because it's 5.
Yeah.
If it was 55, you'd stay quiet.
Yeah.
You would stay quiet.
That's why I stay
you would
quiet.
stay quiet. If I was 55, it wouldn't necessarily me staying quiet because we know what the what it's like. Like it's not a bad thing necessarily for me to be sleeping around.
Can I just say something that I've myself? Obviously, I've had long-term relationships, so I'm fine. But what I will say is, for the younger generation, it's very difficult to have a low body count now because and it's
because of older women.
Not even.
You lot lie to the younger women.
Why are you lying?
No, because you lot want them to be just like them.
Can I just say something? Let me just say something.
Yeah, you got time.
Like, you're saying dating and we're saying connections and we're giving out all this. There's so many people. Social media has ruined dating. It's like there's so much variety. There's so much what you should be expecting, what you shouldn't be expecting. So it's so fickle. Dating is so fickle now. How are young girls expected to keep their body count down when there's no relationships now? Like, it's not like back in the day where you had a long-term relationship. Mostly our age were the last of the long-term relationships. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, men have definitely dropped their standards for what they used to accept. A girl used to be a hoe if she slept with more than 2 people. Now a guy prays for 5.
No, I do. Listen, and I've seen guys. I've seen a lot of hoes get wifed.
That's true.
So do you think,
but they're also the first divorced, because I always say a woman sleeping around, it hurts herself more than anyone else because it impacts her ability to pair bond. So women have a hard time staying when they've slept with too many people statistically, because women that have slept with more than 5 men, their chance of a happy marriage drops from at 80% after 10 years they're going to be in a happy marriage to 30% after 5 partners after 10 years.
Okay. So I can't sleep with any more guys, or else I'm going to drop in a percentage. That's a nightmare.
Like what?
So I need to find my husband.
I'm celebrating
It's more.
That's my life.
No more sex.
But that's what I'm saying is like there's reasons behind it.
Do you think that's gonna work?
No more sex.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say you making him wait and you making him wait.
I'm not waiting.
The guy just had it like that. It's like now I'm on my. No,
I'm just gonna have to go back to someone I've had sex with.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I asked you. You should have married your partner.
Ooh.
Come on, man. I explained that to you.
I know you explained it to me, but that's why at first I said you should have married your partner.
Yeah, you did.
If you married your partner in year 1, you would have divorced when your problems happened, but you would have been married.
But
What's that? That's just
I don't listen. I grew up. Let me give you this. I don't know if it's my cousin's fault. I blame her. I was a Protestant in Scotland. It's Protestant Catholics. My cousin was a Catholic. I was a Protestant. She got to make her communion, and I didn't. She religiously, I stayed at her house most days when my mum was working. She used to dress me in a trouser suit, and she dressed up in her communion dress and made us play weddings like in the living room in front of everyone. And it really daunted me that she always made me be the guy. It hurt me a lot. So I just was like, I hate weddings. I don't know if it's instilled. I haven't ever had the wish to be married. I don't dream of the white dress. I don't dream the commitment that is for the government to say you're married. Like, I dream of real love. Like, that's all I've ever done.
But marriage is a business.
And it is a business.
And
you're right. And when I left, I realized that I failed in that business transaction. Yeah, because he held most of the money.
See, there you go.
But I think that's like what we have confused as women is we're in it for love.
Yeah,
but it's not
absolutely.
about love. It's about what works long term in building families.
And I hear you. And I hear what you're saying. And for my beautiful daughters, I did stay a lot longer than I should have. A lot longer. Yeah. But when they got to a certain age and maturity, and I realized that this was actually affecting them, because I didn't want, what I realized is I thought was acceptable because I'd seen my parents do similar things. So I thought that was acceptable. I'd never seen a nurturing relationship.
I'm not sure. You don't have to say what wasn't acceptable.
Any sort of abuse. Yeah. It's not acceptable. So I didn't want my daughters to then. I think sometimes we rerun our parents' relationships.
No, I said no because you're not allowed to say that word.
Oh, you're not. Okay, yeah. So I just felt like I thought it was acceptable because I grew up seeing it. So therefore, I didn't want them to think that was acceptable or that was how relationships were supposed to be. So I decided not to do it. And when you said to me, 18 years, you should have stayed. No way. I believe in if it's unhappy, it affects your kids worse.
In the case of abuse, I would agree with you. Yeah, in abuse. But I think that's more of the exception rather than the rule. Because women leave 70 to 80% of the time, 90% if we're college educated. And one of the number one predictors of if you're going to get a divorce is if you out-earn your husband.
Do you think that's because of the women or because of the men?
I think it's because women are hypergamous, and it's hard for a woman to be attracted to a guy she makes more than.
Really? Because in my personal circumstances, the issue I've always had is a man not being secure enough to accept the fact that I've done better than them.
Absolutely.
I think the problem
you
usually
think you've done better than
but
them,
yeah, that's the problem is like women, and it kind of shows in the way you talk respectfully.
Not
like it
better
sounds
than
like you,
them.
like it sounds like you're acting like you're better than them.
That's not what I meant.
Yeah, but I'm saying a lot of like women unintentionally act like they're better than the guy, and then it makes him insecure.
But
So
the way you look is, for me personally, obviously everyone's different, but for me personally, when I'm looking for a guy, I care about if what they're doing, they have passion for what they're doing, they have drive for what they're doing, regardless of how they are financially. Because when you're with somebody, you're a couple, right? You're a team in that. So it doesn't matter who the higher earner is. it matters if they can provide you with that emotional support and that stability.
Well, and I think that sounds nice, but
Men
that's
don't
just
see
not
it.
what women pick. And I think when we say things like that, it's dishonest.
But it's
because
not, because that is what happens.
No, because when you survey women where they're not in front of on camera with mics in their faces,
Yeah.
they say they want a guy that makes at least 30% more than them. They say this. This is from the horse's mouth.
Okay, as
Yeah.
a horse, I've never dated a guy that's kind of earned more than I have.
Well, I
Because
mean,
it's
you
not
also
something
aren't
that
married
bothers me.
though, so you didn't stay with one.
But they left me. So
But I think it even kind of aligns with my experience. So Nigerian background, the last generation of Nigerians were very pioneers. They did very, very well. Goldman Sachs and all the women, especially the women who did really well, are found it extremely hard to settle down because of that reason. They all said, "Oh, I need someone who's on better than me, who's earns more than me." And these women were top lawyers, they were killing it. And there were all these guys. They had all the options. They had the looks. They had all the physical assets that men liked, and they struggled for decades in some cases. And I think some of them still aren't married now because, and Nigerians are very vocal. So you go into family, reunions and weddings, and they weren't shy of saying, yeah, if you don't earn, if you can't compete with me earnings wise, I've got a twin sister, and even then you kind of hear those kind of sentiments. Or this idea that if you settle for someone who doesn't earn as much or isn't as successful as you are, that you're settling. And this could be a 6'4" muscle bound, uni educated.
Well, women always. I mean, why do we know the phrase? We know this phrase when I say, "Oh, I want a man on my level." Women say that all the time. You don't hear men saying, "Oh, I want a woman on my level."
But do you think that's because?
I think it's because women are hypergamous and men aren't. Women want a guy that they can look up to. I don't think it's a bad thing.
That's okay.
I think it's okay. Go
I
ahead.
actually agree with
Yeah.
that phrase. I want a guy on my
Look
level,
up to.
but that doesn't come down to a monetary value.
Alone. Money,
Not
muscles, frame, and
really.
game.
Really?
Six, six,
do
six.
you not
Money,
think that
muscles,
sounds
frame, and game.
very kind of shallow in terms of the way you look at things? I think it depends on what you need as a person,
Yeah.
because your circumstances, your upbringing, your life is going to determine what you need from someone else.
You're right. There's individual differences, but when you survey women and ask them, from the horse's mouth at large, what they want in a guy, it's money, muscles, frame, game.
What do you mean by frame? Sorry.
Frame is like masculinity, basically.
Muscles.
And I will say, when
don't
you
like
said
muscles.
it's also what you need personally from a woman,
I was going to point onto that.
I've we've all been there where you meet someone at a time where they need a certain kind of guy. Maybe she's been dumped by some player and she needs a nice guy for a bit. But after those needs have been met, it's money, frames, and games, baby.
I wasn't going to
No
get
way.
onto that point. I was going to say, why is it about what you need? I don't think a man goes into a relationship saying, what do I need from a woman? It's what can I provide for her? Yeah. What can our family do together? I promise you, I'm not what if a man says he wants something from you, you would think he's a weirdo. You'd be like, rah, he's like.
Well, no, it's
So why does he want something from me? No, you tell your brethren. If you say, for example, you got a friend where the guy she's constantly paying for, or she's constantly doing the things that you would typically consider a man doing. Yeah, you would tell her. You'd be like, later, why are you with that guy? He's trying to take advantage of you. Yeah, you see, there we go. So
I've heard that being said.
Right, so that's what I'm talking about when I say in terms of what you need from him.
But I think I don't know if it's with age, but money genuinely doesn't come into it for me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I will sit here and I'll be honest.
It's cap. It's cap.
If I met two guys,
Exact same guy.
and one said, yeah, exact same guy, and one said, do you want to go out on Monday? I'm going to pick you up. And the other one said, do you want to go out on Monday? Yeah, we'll check train times and I'll meet you there. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I probably will go for the one that's going to pick me up.
Right.
Yeah.
And what if I told you the train guy has 35 million in his bank account?
I hear
and
you,
the reason
I
why
hear you.
wait, and the reason why he's not taking car and dropping you is because it's in the garage. Would you still go with the guy that's picking you up in the car?
Yeah. No, I don't know that. I'm confused. Now you've confused me. Stop it.
I'm not confused. You're confusing
confuse
yourself.
everyone,
Yeah.
You don't know what you want.
I'm not
I
confused.
think
You say you want-
a man just needs to be able to look after himself.
Yeah, I just feel like you've kind of got your stuff to.
But the point is, if there's guy A and guy B, and one has money and one doesn't,
Yeah.
You're telling me you wouldn't pick the guy with money?
If they're exactly the
exactly
same.
the
exactly
same.
the same.
Yeah, you probably would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
If they're
that's not
exactly
really a
the same.
good comparison. If they're exactly the same, but just one has money. Of course,
You're
you're
obviously going to pick the one with the
Of course
money.
you're gonna pick the one with
But
money
that's
because
the-
then you're not
but
going to
the-
put your stuff
But the
onto
point
me.
is that plays into it, where men don't care. Men don't care at all about a woman's money. Like, and a lot of times girls will come out and they'll say, "Oh, I have my own bag," and like think that's attractive to a guy, but it's only attractive to broke men.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but if you have
Damn straight.
if you have the exact same comparison though, and you say to a guy, okay, here's women A and women B who are exactly the same, and the
Yeah.
only thing, how would you pick between the two then?
Yeah,
with money?
how would
But
you?
it
With
wouldn't,
money
it wouldn't be
being the
money that
differentiator?
comes down to.
So what would it be?
But for us, you're assuming it's a
Actually,
monetary
he's not-
value.
actually-
No,
First.
I know it
Ish,
is.
Ish, can you answer this question?
Okay, so just rephrase the question for me.
So, girl A, girl B, one has money, one doesn't. One makes $500K a year, one makes 45.
But they're exactly the
And
same.
they're exactly
every
the
other way,
same.
yeah.
Money won't. I won't care about money, and the reason why I won't care about money is purely because I'm gonna judge them. Like, let's say girl A, they're exactly the same, but girl A is like hella disrespectful. She doesn't understand what I as a man need, and then girl B, exactly the same, understands what a man needs, is submissive in certain ways that shows me respect and loyalty, which is what I value. I'm picking girl B.
We didn't
so
give it.
can-
We
can
didn't
I-
give
we're
her those
saying, we're
options.
saying they're exactly.
So then being exactly the same, it does money
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter.
Doesn't
But
matter.
can I
From
actually
more-
pick
who's
up
more
on
close
I'd,
to
that?
my eyes.
I'd probably flip a coin.
Flip a coin and
But
close my eyes.
you said, as a minute ago, you said they don't understand what I need. Now, when I said looking at what you'd look at what you need from a man,
Yeah.
you picked up on that and said, why does it matter what the woman needs? And
No.
assumed it was a monetary value thing, where
No,
I was
that's-
talking about emotionally and mentally. But when you've said that, nobody said anything.
That's not what I'm talking about. He's talking
he's a
about in
man.
terms the man's needs, in terms of a man's needs. I could fulfill my own needs. When you're coming into a relationship, you're probably coming with university debt. You're probably coming with problems from your ex-relationship. You're probably coming with like past
I'm talking
issues.
about emotional needs.
You're
and mental
holding a
needs,
lot
which
of feelings,
everyone
boy, for
has.
women.
All right.
Everyone
I don't know.
has.
What kind of women you've been
Wait,
getting?
hold on.
Don't men have
You-
those
So,
options?
so
Guys,
wait,
one-
guys,
one
guys,
at a
one
time.
at a time. So here's the difference. Emotional needs, you will seek a man to help you with that. Whereas I, as a man, if I've got emotional needs, I will not come to you with those emotional needs. And the reason being
Yeah.
is that you as a woman will not understand the struggle that as a man that I go through
Yeah.
on a daily basis. So it's very difficult for you to comprehend and give me advice on how to deal with my emotional problems. I, as a man, will probably be best off going to seek advice from other males that I could call friends, maybe counselors in that kind of realm, in order to get advice on how to go about my emotional problems.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
find
think
that
women could do the same
interesting,
though?
but
I think women, Pearl says it best, women are chemically different on a day-to-day
Every day.
basis. And so the idea that I could say, all right, guys, I'm going through these problems, you may see it from a woman's perspective and you'll go, oh, well, you can do this, this, and this. As a man, if I take that advice, I do those things, I will find the results are not suitable or what I'm looking for. Because you as a woman, women tend to be mollycoddled in today's society. Men, if you do something, you will know about it. Society will tell you that this can't run and you can't do that.
Can I just
Women
say
get
one-
away with everything.
If I just
Literally.
want to say one thing.
Shout out to being a
Yeah,
woman.
yeah. Anytime a guy has a standard, they're shamed for it.
Yeah.
But you
Every
started
single-
off this conversation by saying, don't you think women have too high standards?
They do.
But I just
But
want
That's why
that contradicts
50%.
what
That's
you
why
just said.
50% of women are single and childless.
Listen,
But that contradicts exactly what you
How
just
does
said.
it contradict exactly what I said?
Because you just said if men have a standard, they're kind
They're
of
shamed for it.
shamed
Yeah, I'll
for
give you an
it.
example. What happened with the slut shaming? As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized on a daily basis on this platform. If you want to help, please consider sending a super thanks below. Every donation helps, and it helps make what we do possible.